Hello everyone, it's race day at Suzuka Circuit, as you can see, and we've got another great race for you from VR Room in the GT300 League, and this is round 5 of the November Championship, and on pole position, swapping to the Toyota Celica for this race, is that man Scalebreaker. Obviously needed to go to a quicker car to make sure he beat Slash to pole, and here's Slash, second on the grid in his Autobac Scaraya. Third on the grid, this is not Jordan, this is Rayman. What a qualifying by him. He's done this before at Suzuka, I seem to think. Fantastic lap to put him third on the grid. It's almost as if he knows a shortcut no one else knows. Next up, fourth is Jordan. Fifth we have Stuntman. Sixth on the grid, this is race 42. Seventh, and a long way down by his standards, Malada. Be interesting to see if he can move forwards. Next up is eighth, Scouser, and a good solid job by him in qualifying. Next up is Slicker, and then Genobi in the faster of the Subarus in qualifying. Then we have Hatcher, and then this would be Dylan, and finally bringing up the rear, Mr. Green. I suspect he may have lost his qualifying time after leaving the track to fiddle with his car. That's probably why he's at the back, because he'd normally be much closer to the front than that. So we're one car short in this race. That is N10, who unfortunately won't be joining us for this race or the next one. Hopefully he'll be back for round 7. Anyway, we'll get on with the action, and we're going to start on board with Scouser down in 8th place. Just directly ahead of us is race 42 in the Celica, making a bad start. Malada already passed him, and Scouse is up to 7th into turn 1. There's a car off ahead. That's one of the RX-7s. It's either Jordan or it's Rayman. Oops. So this is on board with Dylan. I kind of missed that. What we'll do is we'll go back and see what happened to Rayman. So starting third. Now I seem to remember last time he started near the front, he went off at the first corner as well. So on the racing line, doesn't need to defend from Jordan, but misses the apex at turn 1, runs off, and now he's desperately trying to stop the car before it goes into the gravel. Rejoins the track. And then he backs off and is hit from behind by Mr. Green, but that's not. I think he was backing off to get out of people's way, and ended up doing quite the reverse. So we'll go on board with Scalebreaker. It's very unlucky there for Mr. Green as well. He didn't really do anything wrong. You don't expect a car to suddenly slow down in an acceleration zone, and it didn't even hit the brakes, so he didn't get any warning of it from the brake lights. So this is the rear view of Scalebreaker, just easing away from Slash. Jordan up to 3rd, and Stunt 4th, and Malada 5th, so good start from Malada. 6th is Scouser, 7th is race 42, and we're getting calls of a yellow flag. We got yellow flag, so race marshal, who is Mustard, has decided that that first corner incident between Mr. Green and Rayman needs effectively a safety car, excuse me. So we're under yellow, and I expect to see a few people in the pits. So we just fast forward to see who goes in. Oh, this is Rayman. He's just trawling around at 37 miles an hour. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. In the pits we've got Mr. Green and Hatcher. And Rayman will be in the pits, so we're going to fast forward a bit. before the restart. So we're now on lap 2. We are on the back straight coming up to 130R, and we'll go on board with race 42. Here we go. So we're going to restart at any second, and you go when the leader, you go when the car in front of you goes. That way we get a nice orderly restart, and we're off. So into the chicane, Casio chicane. Oh, a bit of a mistake there from Malada, 2 cars up in the RX-7, and could be costly because that's broken the race up already. We've got 4 cars battling for the lead. Here goes Scouser trying to pass. Doesn't quite make it, and race 42 now on the attack. So no changes so far. I'm going to go on board now with, let's go on board with Rayman, who kind of caused that yellow flag, but profits out of it because he gets his car fixed, and rejoins on the tail of the pack. He did qualify 3rd, remember, so I expect to see him start to come through the field. He's chasing down Hatcher, who is behind the 2 Subarus of Mr. Green and Genovi. So into the Degnas, first Degna, second Degna. And Rayman has caught this little group. Oh, there's a change. I thought I saw something change. Maybe there's a Scouser and race 42 side by side. They're not that close now, so we'll go back on board with Rayman. Oh, someone kicking up the dust. That's Hatcher off. Also Genovi running very, very wide there in the Subaru. In fact, Genovi's off as well. So Rayman up 2 places. And all he had to do there to do that was just be careful not to hit any of those cars. So Rayman up to 11th, getting a good tow from Mr. Green. So there's 3 little groups now. We've got a group of 4 battling for the lead. There's Scalebreaker, Slash and Jordan. Then another group which is Malada, Scouser, Race 42, Dylan and Slicker. And Rayman has got a good run on Mr. Green here. I think this pass is a done deal. I don't know if he's picking up a slipstream, but if he is, so is Mr. Green from the other car, because up ahead that's Dylan and Slicker side by side, and Dylan hangs on to that place, but Rayman gets a lovely run through the first 2 turns. Up to 10th now. And catching Slicker through running a bit wide through that part of the S's. Very difficult corner combination, the S's. If you make a mistake, it can affect 2 or 3 corners. But there's a mistake from Slicker up ahead. Used too much curb. The car got away from him slightly over the curbs. Now we're into first Degner and Slicker. Oh dear. Running a bit wide. Slicker is struggling a bit here. He's going slowly. Meanwhile, up ahead, I can see something going on between Scouser and Race 42, and it's Scouser round the outside. But Race 42 hangs on to that place, but they're still side by side. If we go to the outside shot, but Scouser's little MRS is very quick on the straights. I don't know if he's taken some wing off it. He's also going the shorter way around that long sweeping right-hander, but he's made a mistake. He's run wide. Now it's 2 abreast, Scouser and Race 42 and Dylan. This is on board with Dylan. He's in there as well. Oh, and he's being eased off the track there by 42. Oh, and a bit of contact. Race 42 hits him. I don't see what Dylan did wrong there. I do remember in the paddock afterwards, Race 42 wasn't very happy about that. I'll see if I can rewind it. So here we go. Now, Race 42 said that Dylan didn't have any space here, but I think we can clearly see that there was. He gets squeezed onto the grass, and then there's a tap on the back which swings him out. And then there's side by side through 130R, more contact, and it's cost both of them time here. And into the Casio chicane, and 42 holds that place. Meanwhile, on board with Rayman, and he's on the tail of Slicker, and using the slipstream with a perfect run up ahead. We can see Race 42 and Dylan, but they haven't changed places. But Rayman now up to 9th, and we've lost a car off the back. That would have been Dylan. No, not Dylan. Beg your pardon. Hatcher it was. I think he made a mistake and went into the wall and retired the car. Meanwhile, Mr. Green has dropped right off the back as well, so Mr. Green's had some kind of incident. He hasn't got any damage. Here he is in 12th place. So we're waiting to see. Oh, we've got more problems. I'm going to rewind a little bit. So this is Malada in the wall at Degner 2. So we'll follow that, see how it happened. Degners are a very difficult combination of corners. You often see it in Grand Prix, and particularly in practice at Grand Prix. You see cars going off at Degner 1 and then going into the wall at Degner 2. So Malada has been dropping away from the lead group since the restart, but is in a very solid 5th place. There's no one challenging him, so he's not under any pressure. We'll ride on board, see if we can pick up what went wrong. No risks taken there through Dunlop. It's all good. Oh, was that a wheel on the grass? I don't know, but anyway, he just runs too wide in Degner 1, and then you're on the grass and plunging downhill, and you just cannot get the car stopped, and Malada just has to sit there and wait. Oh, there's someone else off. That's Slicker. And Ginobbi's gone from 11th to 9th in one corner without needing to pass anyone. Not anyone who was on the track anyway, but this is the closest battle. Dylan, Race 42 and Scouser. So yeah, in the previous race, round 4, I did malign Dylan a little bit. I was just giving my opinion, which may or may not be right. But in this race, I haven't seen him do anything wrong. So fair play to Dylan, and he is in this battle for 5th place. It looks like Scouser is holding them up, but he's doing a good job of defending, and in fact doing a lovely job of defending, just flicking that little MRS into the first part of the chicane. We're going to ride on board with Scalebreaker, and up to 2nd we've got Jordan. I missed that pass, so Jordan in the RX-7 up to 2nd place behind us. Then it's Slash 3rd, and Stuntman just hanging on to the back of this lead group. But Scalebreaker hasn't been challenged really in this race. The others are just hanging into his slipstream, and he's towing them round. So in this Celica around here, he is very quick indeed, and it's going to be a real challenge for anyone to pass him, because the Celica is quick on the straights, and Breaker makes it quick through the corners. Oh, that's Slash having a moment. Big moment for Slash, and he's in the gravel in the background. And this is Stuntman's view of Slash rejoining. So Stunt up to 3rd place, inherited that somewhat, but he's dropped off the back of the pack with that. And the reason for that is he almost had his race wrecked when Slash spun last time out, and I think he came off the gas somewhat when he saw Slash spinning again. Meanwhile, we've got action going on back here. This is Dylan and Scouser. Race 42 has gone past Scouse. So race 42 now up to 5th place. This is the battle for 6th. Great to have that little MRS back in the league. It was very popular at one stage, but seems to have gone out of fashion. Meanwhile, further back, this is Mr. Green and Slicker, and there's been contact there. I think we'll rewind. So it's Slicker running wide, getting sideways, and coming back across the track out of control and banging into Mr. Green. So Mr. Green very unlucky in this race, I have to say. And that rear damage is going to cause him some problems with that Subaru. I don't think it handles very well with rear damage. And Slicker back in front. So let's see how Scouser and Dylan are getting on. And Dylan is ahead of Scouser. And I dare say that was a slipstream pass. So Scouser's defence in that 5th place is over. We're on the last lap now, and we need to go and look at the leaders. So riding on board with Scalebreaker and Jordan behind us. These two well clear now of Stuntman. And Jordan slipstreaming as they come up to Degner's. Oh, running very wide there, Scalebreaker, and he's probably going to have to defend now into the chicane. No, he doesn't. No, not the chicane, the hairpin. And runs a bit wide, does Scalebreaker, but that doesn't really hurt you so long as you don't run too wide, because the hairpin has got a bank on it, and you can kind of run what NASCAR drivers might call the outside groove, and get away with it. So now through Spoon Curve. It's named Spoon because it shapes like a Japanese spoon. And Scalebreaker has got a bit of a gap, but Jordan is slipstreaming his way onto Breaker's boot lid as they come up to 130. Oh, this is not a good place. Oh, contact. That was definitely Jordan nudging Breaker off the track, but oh, and Jordan's going for it. And he's overshot. Oh, bit of mistake from Jordan. We're going to ride on board with Stuntman and see his view of that. And he's actually going to be glad that Jordan is giving him a tow down the straight, because Slash is right behind, and Stunt could have needed that slipstream to keep Slash behind him. So Jordan nearly lost 2nd place there with that last lap spin. So the winner is Scalebreaker. Jordan 2nd, Stunt 3rd, Slash 4th. Race 42 just finished, as has Dylan. Genobi 7th. Oh, I'm going to rewind, because what happened to Scouser? Oh, that's what happened to Scouser. 2 wheels on the grass entering the chicane for the last time, the last corner, and Scouser makes a mistake and drops a place to Genobi. Meanwhile, Mr. Green has got past Slicker again, so Mr. Green is going to come 9th. Slicker, here he is. He's obviously had another off or something on the last lap with that damage that he's got. So he finishes 10th. Rayman is just poodling around, I think, in 11th, and Malada 12th. So we'll go to the timing screens and see what that tells us. And so Scalebreaker 206.4, and he was towing round the other 3 of the other drivers. Jordan, who got fastest lap, 206.1, Stunt 206.3, and Slash 206.6, and those 4 miles quicker than anyone else. Next up are the 208s, Malada 208.0. Mr. Green and race 42 also in the 208s. Right, well, That's a cracking race. Please tune in again to my YouTube channel for round 6, which is going to be the reverse grid race at Suzuka again. So that will see Malada on pole. Oh no, probably see Hatcher on pole actually, because he withdrew from this race. And if you're not already signed up for vrroom.org, then please do so. It's free to sign up, and you get some fantastic racing, and all the races are marshalled by fully qualified, properly trained marshals. I've been VR Stuntman, and see you soon.